Rally New Zealand is also the opening round of that particular championship. And when you live in a country which has the reputation for the best rally roads in the world, you've got to have plenty of locals who love to get out there and also get some skids. It's an all-new Parker NZ New Zealand Championship for 2005, now under the guidance of the Motorsport New Zealand-based Rally Company. At the 2005 launch, Parker NZ Chairman Grant O'Loughlin was optimistic about the sport's future.
I think it's going to be great for the sport, it's going to be great for the sponsors, and I think at the end of the day it'll be good for the competitors too. Now, we've seen a little bit with the infrastructure that they've got that have been associated with the V8 Tourers, and that's been fantastic, and I really do think that Rally New Zealand's going to, the Rally New Zealand Rally Championship is going to be lifted to a new level.
But for reigning champ Chris West, the rally start was a shocker. First, his car was smashed at an intersection when a car ran a red light in the week prior to the build-up, and then he was suffering from food poisoning.
Special stages as one of the drivers.
Yeah, Mark was just simply driving down the road, running the engine in, and guy ran a red light and managed to take the front off the car. But yeah, we're just thankful that we got a good team, and there's a great bunch of guys in Hamilton, panel beaters, painters, etc. And I think they consumed around close to 90 hours in repairing the car, and it's back to its original condition.
Joining Westy in the True Blue Subaru corner this year, Sam Murray, the Rookie of the Year last year, and another Subaru Impreza WRX. But they've got their work cut out against the red corner, Mitsubishi being led by Mark Tapper in the GVI Lancer Evo 7, which he ran last year.
Should be no excuses for starting off slowly, I guess. And yeah, we know the car pretty well, and it went pretty well last year, so I guess it could be an advantage, really.
Neil Allport will join the Mitsubishis, but only for one round after he failed to secure a sponsor's deal for 2005. Marty Rostenberg makes a return to Rally NZ after 7 years in an Evo 8.
Marty, 7 years away from the championship. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's good to be back again. It's a real exciting event, and looking forward to it.
The championship's gone Group N. Are you a fan of that?
Yeah, I think it's good having everybody on a level playing field, or as much as you can, and it's going to be neat to be able to compare apples with apples, make it a lot easier for the spectators to understand as well.
Also making a welcome return, former champion Brian Stokes, also in an Evo 8. So after the glamour of the ceremonial start, it was up north to the dusty roads of Paparoa. Also joining the battle, two Subaru Australia cars, Dean Herridge and Cody Crocker. Herridge led the way on stage one, and as in 2004, he was faster than any of the production World Championship cars.
Right 6. 50.
But it was his teammate Cody Crocker who claimed fastest production car outright on stage one. And on stage two, he was also the fastest of the Anzac group, although slightly behind the PWRC leader Toshi Arai.
Cody, how did it go through there?
Possibly a little more conservative on that stage. It seemed a bit harder, and I think for our tyres it meant a bit skatier, so probably lost a bit of time in a few corners there too, so it's all right. They're a very comfortable drive, not taking any risks, which is good.
Chris West still had the after effects of his food poisoning. But that didn't hold him back. Fastest Kiwi, 19th overall in the rally.
5 left into 4 right plus. And 4 left, please. 4 left long.
And through stage two, he held that 19th overall place and first Kiwi spot, although by the stage end, he was feeling rather worse for wear.
I'm losing it in the last like 5K.
Why is that?
I'm just still light-headed.
Still a bit crop.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just getting into it, still getting over that food poisoning, just not feeling 100%, so make sure we get there and try not to get dehydrated.
But at least he was still going. Unfortunately, the Mitsubishi camp were about to lose their first driver, Rotorua's Dean Sumner, in the ITM Evo 8. And it was only stage one.
A small crest, 5 right plus, 80. Long 6 right. Get out, bro. Get out, man.
Under the new rally rules, he can rejoin on day two. That's if the team can repair the car in time.
We actually had a problem with the gear selection. Kind of threw us off balance. We only had like first, third and fifth. We could get it in fourth sometimes and second, but it was a bit dodgy, and just came around a corner and couldn't select the gear when I wanted to, and went wide, and this is the result behind me there. Yeah, should have been backing off a bit, but yeah, it's the brakes.
So Mark Tapper had the honour of being the leading Kiwi Mitsubishi driver. He was just 1 second slower than Westy on stage 1. On stage 2 he dropped 5 seconds to West, but was still in touch. Front of the rally, Peter Solberg has stolen an advantage by choosing soft tyres. Neil Allport, though, was running on hard tyres and really surprised by his lack of pace. 19 seconds slower than Westy on stage 1.
Neil, first stage under your belt, looks like some of the guys were saying a bit more slippery than expected.
Yeah, it was a bit, and bigger tyres we had on, yeah, they weren't ideal. So, but anyway, first stage, need to settle the nerves down. The time's not that great.
And it got worse on stage 2 when a spin saw him drop another 32 seconds to West.
We had a spin only a few K in there. I just completely misheard the note, and it was a bit of a tightening corner into a left into a right, and just got it wrong. So we're very lucky to get away with that, unfortunately.
Marty Rostenberg's return to the championship was going according to plan. A good steady drive on 1 to be the 4th fastest Kiwi. 4th fastest again on stage 2. Moved him up to 3rd overall of the battle to be the first Kiwi home. And his BNT Evo 8. In fact, the Evo 8s were coming in thick and fast, just like the dusty roads. Brett Martin surprised a few with his pace on stage 1, the 5th fastest Kiwi, 37 seconds down on the leader, Chris West. Dunedin's fastest Welshman, Tom Pritchard, had his new rally yard car just 4 seconds further back in 6th. It's been too much farming, and it's been too much farming and not enough fun for Brian Stokes over the past few years, so he's back into the New Zealand Rally Championship, but out of a Ford and into a Mitsubishi.
And a long 4 left.
Dan Murray really impressed in 2004, winning the Rookie of the Year award, a couple of podium finishes. But this year, it's an all-new production car, and he's showing signs of a lack of testing. Not quite happy with the handling. 8th fastest on stage 1, just behind Stokes. 7th on special stage 2.
Sam, 2 stages down, how'd it go?
It's pretty hard work. It's just a matter of, had a couple of frights in there with just running wide in a couple of corners. I hardened the suspension up and I think I've gone too fast, so I don't quite know where to go. Yeah, it's just a bit of trial and error really, and that's how the whole event's going to be, I think, but it can be a bit scary at times.
Emma Gilmore is one of the oldest cars in the championship, the same Evo 6 Mitsubishi, which she campaigned in 2004. Her last Rally New Zealand in 2003. She rolled out on day 1, so today it was stay in control. 9th fastest on special stage 1, 11th on stage 2. So let's take a look at the Kiwi standings after special stage 2 of Propecia Rally New Zealand. Chris West out in front, and close behind the pace being set by the Anzacs. Mark Tapper 8 seconds back, then Rostenberg 48 seconds adrift, being pushed by Neil Allport in 4th. Then it's Pritchard, Stokes, Gilmore, Murray rounding out the top 8.
3, 2, 1, go. 400.
Stages 3 and 4 near Makatoroto were a little kinder on the cars and the tyres. Chris West blasted through the stage, just 22 seconds behind stage winner Chris Atkinson in the WRC Subaru, and 0.9 seconds faster than Dean Herridge in the Possum-born Motorsport car.
And 4 right minus. What's going on here? Into 4 left. 30, 4 right minus tightens.
Wouldn't you know it, There's another pesky Aussie in the field. Well, sort of. Finnish driver J.M. Latvala is calling Australia home this year. He's driving the third Subaru Australia car, or Subaru car, using the New Zealand roads to pave his way into World Rally contention. 15th overall on this stage, 2.3 seconds ahead of West. Pretty happy about racing in Aotearoa.
The roads are fantastic. It's like Finland, it's flowing and it's nice. You can really enjoy those days. But it seems that when it's a little bit raining and there's a little bit water on the road, so then it's quite slippy, but otherwise the roads are fantastic.
Neil Allport decided enough was enough. He got over his tyre woes to be the fastest Kiwi Mitsubishi, just a second ahead of Mark Tapper. Tapper was still right on the pace though, just 2 seconds slower than West, but complaining of dust and then big understeer. But it could have been too bad, because in stage 4, Tapper claims Mitsubishi's first New Zealand Championship stage win for 2005. Sneaking in by 0.05 seconds ahead of Westy.
Mark, morning gone. Second overall at the moment, New Zealand champs.
Yeah, it's not bad. We've been pretty tidy down the middle of the road, so to speak, and not taking any risks. Be much the same this afternoon, and just keep an eye on what Westy's doing and not let him get too far away from us.
Marty Rostenberg was well used to his new car by stage 4. Made the third fastest time. That put him 4th place, just 0.05 seconds behind Allport though. But it wasn't just the leaders who were in a tight tussle on the Northland roads. Brett Martin got a real hurry up on these stages after his excellent 5th place on the early roads. And that came from an on-form Emma Gilmore, showing that the ageing Evo stick still had plenty of ability to post a fast time. She was faster than Martin by 2 seconds, closing in on Dunedin Welshman Tom Pritchard, who just happens to work with her at the Gilmore family business back home. Pritchard had his work cut out too on stage 4. Yes, just keeping it on the road, away from the bank and away from that bridge, but hey, the fans love that.
Probably a kilometre before the end of the 4th stage there, tyres got really hot and probably not quite used to the car enough yet. We just caught a fence and no damage. Took the taillight out, but we'll carry on, there's no problem. We didn't lose any time, that's the main thing.
Splitting the Dunedin pair was another South Islander, Canterbury dairy farmer Brian Stokes. He was starting to get the hang of rallying again in a production car though. That was a step down from his old Group A car. The True Blue Subaru camp suffered a setback when Sam Murray made a crucial mistake, slipped off the road and lost about 25 minutes.
The car just gets away on me, so I thought I'd actually made it better. The stage before I thought I got it so it was drivable, and that one we just got away on us, came around to 3 right and the back just stayed out and spun, and we just got stuck backwards. The rope bank was too steep to get back up, so we had to sit there and wait.
So at the halfway point of day 1, it's still Chris West out in front, extending his lead by a slim 8-second margin, with Neil Allport and Marty Rostenberg engaged in a major battle, just 0.05 seconds separating them in 3rd and 4th. But that all changed in the afternoon. Taihape youngster Brett Martin came up with the drive of the day. He finished 4th because Neil Allport wasn't registered for the championship, so that was a podium finish.
Yeah, so I found that out. I was pretty stoked about that, really. So, sort of a dream come true, and to do it in Rally New Zealand's been pretty awesome.
So the fella said, what happened to Marty Rostenberg? Well, 5 minutes on the road into the last stage, he rolled the car.
Pretty disappointed, mate. They had that intercom problem, and we got out of sync with the communications in the car. Went into a left-hander a little bit fast and got a bit wide and just about saved it, but the right rear tagged the bank and went over 2.5 times, ended up upside down in the middle of the road.
So Neil Allport claimed 3rd, but no championship points for him. Mark Tapper took 2nd place and valuable points in the Parker NZ Championship, but no one could stop the Westie man, as the Winger Subaru team held on for maximum points to win the first leg.
3 left was Duncotton Junction, 50. 4 left
the first two after lunch we tried pretty hard, and we, like everyone, I guess, ran out of tyres, so to speak. So the last one it was pretty slippery. So it's just a matter of getting through. We dropped a wee bit of time, but at the end of the day, it's a championship, that we've got to keep in mind, and good day.
And the regroup at Raglan still to come on 3 Sport with our highlights of the WRC. But don't forget, it's also the opening round of the Parker NZ New Zealand Rally Championship. Let's pick up the action with the second leg and the highlights of day 2 for the K1 W1s. And fine weather and dry, dusty roads were the recipe for day 2 of Rally New Zealand for Chris West. Day 1 couldn't have gone better. 32 points towards his next national championship title.
If we can get a reasonable start this morning, there's 3 stages before the service, and same again in the afternoon before the super special tonight. So if we can maintain our position and obviously keep an eye on Mark and keep in front of him for the championship. 32 points available today, so we're obviously after those points.
For the national championship contenders, 6 stages, 135 kilometres lay ahead. Chris West started the first stage the same way you finished yesterday, flat out.
Into 3 left plus. 30. 4 left.
He was definitely out to make a break early. On day 1, Mark Tapper struggled to match the pace of Chris West. But a day is a long time in rallying, and judging by his early pace on the day's first stage, Chris West was in for a struggle with Tapper. At the half distance in the 19k stage, the clocks told the story. Tapper had his nose in front.
80. Long.
Chris West was pushing hard to catch up.
4 right plus. Dangerous, not slippery. 50. 4 left tightens. Bent the steering.
So Westy just brushed the bridge there. Mark Tapper and Jeff Judd knew nothing about Westy's problems. If they had, they would have pushed even harder. But a stage win by 5 seconds was a good start. However, you should never count out Chris West. On the next stage, he bounced back to win by 0.5 of a second.
Straight 2, left entry, right 3 minus keep in. Straight 2, left entry, right 3 minus keep in.
The claim with the fastest Aussie, the production cars belonged to Dean Herridge, who won Group N last year, but not this year. He was second in the PWRC field, attacked early on in the first stage. That was it.
There's people just up there in there.
With Herridge out, Cody Crocker moved up to be the fastest of the production cars from down under. He was third in the PWRC race and would end the day second. Marty Rostenberg had a day to forget on day 1, but started day 2 with an early charge. Third fastest Kiwi on the first stage. He repeated that performance on the next stage to set himself up for a good day. Despite not having the latest model car, Emma Gilmore was showing real speed.
To 6 right long, 20.
On the first stage of the day, she was the 4th fastest, only 0.3 of a second behind Marty Rostenberg over 19 kilometres. She was even quicker on the next stage, 3rd fastest of the Kiwis. Tom Pritchard continued to improve as he got used to his new car. 6th quickest on the 9th and 5th on the 10th stage. Neil Allport was another driver to strike problems on day 1, retiring early. On day 2, he was back and looking to run up near the front. Brian Stokes' return to championship rallying wasn't going well. Problems on day 1 and a roll on stage 10 ended his rally. Stage 11 Bull was the longest of the day, over 32 kilometres long, with a combination of tight, twisty sections and flat-out blasts. It could be a chance for Chris West to make his move. put him under pressure.
34 left minus tightens to 3 left. Jump out of 5 right tightens into caution.
Things then got worse halfway through the stage. He caught a slower competitor from the Production World Rally Championship. He's supposed to move over and let the faster car go, but wouldn't you know it, he just didn't want to know. Couldn't find the rear view mirror. Finally, a friendly tap from Westy solved the problem.
5 right minus long tightens, 4 right tightens, and then opens.
There you go, just a little wee Liberace.
How'd it go?
It could have been better. We've started it with bent suspension, so we're in pretty much in survival mode. But the other car behind us had damaged its suspension as well. So we lost time and in his dust and managed to get past him. But I hate to think we lost to Mark. So
Yeah, it looks like Mark's sort of giving you a bit of a run today.
Yeah. It's we just started off bad. We hit the bridge on the start and bent the suspension. So not much we can do.
Westy's problems were all Mark Tapper needed. He scorched through the 32 Ks in 21 minutes 4 seconds, less than 5 seconds slower than Cody Crocker, despite catching the same car as Chris West. He finished the stage with a 29-second lead over Westy.
Looks like you're quite a bit closer to Westy today. You up the pace?
No, I think we're just getting better grip from the tyres and I'm more comfortable today, that's all. Not trying any harder.
Neil Allport was the next one onto the stage, the next one to strike problems. His car started overheating and he crawled through the stage to retire. Starting a minute behind Allport was Emma Gilmore, and it wasn't long before she caught the struggling Neil Allport.
4 left.
Oh, Neil Allport.
Into 4 right minus 40. 100, 4 right, 8 right, 130, 8 right, 25 left.
Everybody was striking dust problems on Bull. Marty Rostenberg's brilliant early charge also came unstuck in the dust on stage 11.
Catching the Japanese guy in front of us every 10 to 15 kilometres, but we can't get close enough for him to see us, so he just keeps on trucking and we're on and off and can't see and can't read the notes. It's really, really hard.
So car-wise, you've had no problem with time losses because of that?
Yeah, because of being caught in the dust, and of course in the dust I clipped the curb and bent the front steering, and it's just a nightmare.
Day 2 was proving to be a lot better though for Sam Murray. He was fast starting to sort out his car problems and get his confidence back. 7th fastest on Bull. So as the National Championship competitors headed for service, it was Tapper with a good lead over Westy. A great drive coming too from Emma Gilmore, despite being slightly frustrated.
Bit of a buffer, so this afternoon will you still push as hard?
I just, as I said, I haven't pushed harder at any point, so I've found a rhythm and found a pace that seems to be working good, so I'll just keep doing the same thing and see what happens.
This morning we hit the bridge on the first stage and it's been the suspension in the rear. It's nothing too major, but the car just seems to be a wee bit down on power. It's not too sure. Hopefully something simple. It's just not quite 100%.
I guess it'd be seriously frustrating.
Yeah, it is. It's it was. We had a bit of a margin on Mark, and it's gone.
Emma, 3 stages gone today. You're 3rd overall. Great morning for you.
Yeah, we had a really good start. First 2 stages went very well for us, and then 3rd stage was going really good. Unfortunately, we caught poor old Neil's dust and had a blown turbo, so we caught that. So halfway through the stage, followed that for 6 Ks and sort of tried to push on, thinking I could believe in the notes, but we had a few moments a bit hairy, so I just backed off and got through the dust, and then he pulled over and came to the end. But that was good.
Looks like Emma's been on the charge this morning as well. She's moved up to 3rd.
Oh, Emma's doing brilliantly. She's a great driver and she's shown some fantastic skill. So, it's good to see her there. And I'm quite happy to be beaten by a woman, because, now she's good. She's very, very good.
Okay, you're fifth at the moment in the standings today. You've only got Sam Murray 11 seconds up the road in front of you. So you'll be able to do something about that this afternoon?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we hadn't let us spin, we probably would have been a little bit further up. Yeah, we'll put the charge on this afternoon. We've got new tyres going on now, so time will tell.
Two-wheel drive, these ones.
Yeah, I know, that's why they can't.
Yeah,
they struggle around the corner.
Yeah.
Stage 12 Waipu Caves, a new stage for the day. 21 kilometres should be a good test. Rallying is a sport of confidence, and Mark Tapper's was sky high. He just couldn't seem to do anything wrong. Again, was easily the quickest of the National Championship drivers through the stage. Westday, however, was just going from bad to worse. He'd fixed his suspension problems, but his day was about to end with a blown turbo.
60. 4 left minus. Lock out. Into 3 right long opens. The engine, mate. Highway. Yep. Don't know what it is.
West was out, and his championship chase wasn't getting away to a great start. Emma Gilmore, though, was going really well. Second fastest Kiwi on stage 12, though 16 seconds slower than Tapper. Also starting to make a move on the stage, the youngster Brett Martin from Taiapi, now the third best Kiwi. Tom Pritchard too was moving up. He was now in 4th place and going quicker and quicker as he got used to the new production car.
Oh, wow.
Dylan Turner had struggled all morning with a blown turbo. He'd replaced that at service and was on the charge. 5th fastest for the stage. Grant Barber was putting in a steady drive and lying 7th. Leanne Barnes was also continuing her good drive to lie 8th in the title chase.
Very long.
Palmerston North man, the Rookie of the Year last year, Sam Murray, was also on the case, and the Peter Day Subaru putting behind his day one problems.
30, 6 left on small crest, 50, 4 left plus.
On day one, Dean Sumner's rally didn't really go well. A tricky corner and a gear selection problems meant that he'd got himself caught out and rolled on the stage.
Plus 80, long 6 right.
Get out, man.
His crew had worked hard all afternoon and long into the night. They fixed the car and Dean was back for day 2 under the new Super Rally rules. The car was looking a bit second-hand, and Dean was taking it easy in the ITM Evo. Stage 13 was a repeat run through Cassidy, and Cody Crocker's great form continued. Narrowly missing out on being the fastest PWRC car on the stage. Mark Tapper could do no wrong as well, flying through Cassidy too to increase his lead at the top of the Kiwi field. This was turning out to be Tapper's day. Gilmore was holding on to second place in the championship field and easily holding off the chasing pack. Sam Murray had charged up to 3rd, making the most of everyone's dust problems. Glenn Smith was another driver on the move, 4th in the title race, making up for his day 1 retirement. Marty Rostenberg was also on the comeback trail. His dust problems had dropped him to 9th, but a string of quick times had him back up into the top 6. maybe turn away. Brett Martin continued his good form, but problems on the stage would see him eventually retire.
We're just coming down the hill, just not far from here, and wheels started shaking, and all of a sudden it jammed up. So we pulled over here and thought we had a flatty, and found out that the wheel studs had broken.
The final stage of the day was a peat run through the big monster stage Bull. 32 kilometres of more potential dust problems. Mark Tapper had a 4-minute lead on Emma Gilmore and could afford to back off. That's not Tapper's style. Another faster stage time was the result.
Mark, you've moved out to about a 4-minute lead now in the rally overall for New Zealand.
Yeah, it appears that way. It's not due to my driving, obviously it's due to others' misfortune, I guess. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Okay, you've only got 2 short publicity stages to possibly your first national win.
Yeah, let's not talk about it until we get there, because I've seen people fail at that hurdle.
So all he had to do was complete the Mighty Manukau Super Special stage, and he did that. Emma Gilmore had a 35-second buffer back to Sam Murray. She too could take it easy on the last stage. She did, and it showed in a time only the 7th quickest on the stage.
30. Right into turn 4 left. 50 straight to 7 right. Look after the tyres now, just be careful with them. 24 left plus, very long tightens.
The Dunedin Welshman, Tom Pritchard, had dented his new car. He'd hit a fence post and knocked the wheel alignment out. His pace had been slowed and he was back to 5th place. Marty Rostenberg's chart continued through Bull 2, now up to 4th and back in the title race. Grant Barber was 7th for day 2, would end up 6th overall for the combined championship points over 2 days. Leanne Barnes was 8th and loving the roads and the atmosphere of her first Rally of New Zealand.
Leanne, you got through the difficult part of the rally?
We did, and we're just heading back to Manukau now to do the super stages, so we're pleased we've got through the day and without any damage.
Level pegging all day with Rostenberg was Glenn Smith. He'd been pushing hard all morning and, like Marty, was having problems with the dust from the slower competitors in front of him. So at the end of the day, too, Mark Tapper took an easy win.
That stage there was the best we'd driven up till we caught that guy. We had 2 minutes before he started and we caught him halfway through, and I couldn't even get close to him because of the dust.
Yes, there's the results at the end of day 2. A good win there for Mark Tapper. Emma Gilmore was 2nd, Sam Murray was 3rd. Marty Rostenberg's charge came back, netting him a fine 4th place as well. So the Daniel LeBrun prize giving, no surprises. Mark Tapper did the business, getting his championship off to a very good start. And that's how they line up at the end of day 2 there, Tapper, Gilmore and Pritchard. And of course, Peter Solberg 3rd, still keeps the WRC lead. And the leading Kiwi first time as the K1W1 Mark Tapper.
Sorry, Jeff Judd.
Great skills. For a young driver with lots of potential, lots of pressure to do the business, Jeff Judd as well. So he's a very happy man, Mark Tapper.
I believe, switch around here, mate, so the cameras can see your beautiful face. So you've got the glasses off as well. I believe you had a few troubles out of Western Springs, but that was about it. You managed to get here okay, though?
Yeah, we had a bit of a drama for the last couple of stages. We've a bit of Kiwi ingenuity. We've got a sock stuck in the gearbox, but it got us here.
That's one way to sock it to the opposition, I suppose. Mark Tapper doing the business. Now, coming up, we've got Big Oscar and we've got Stone Race.